The trick to learning new programming languages quickly. This is definitely something that can help out anyone here. Even if you're not a programmer, you're a pen tester or anywhere in security, just like I am. This is definitely going to help quite a bit. What's up, guys? Ryan from elevatecyber. Now, of course, this video is kind of more geared towards people that already know a programming language or have a decent grasp on a programming language. If you've been in the pen testing space for a bit, chances are you have a firm grasp of, perhaps JavaScript if you are on the web app side, or maybe pretty likely Python or Ruby or something like that, right? Now, if you know any of these languages well enough where you can write them decently and you can create some useful scripts or useful tools for yourself, then you're pretty much the demographic that I'm talking about in here. If you haven't, let me know in the comment section below. I can make more of a beginner program, some more beginner programming videos as well for people that are just getting started out. But I want to share with you today a trick that I've learned. And right now, if you watched my videos recently, you know I'm learning the Rust programming language. And I already know quite a bit of Python and several other languages that to varying degrees, really, and JavaScript as well. And I wanted to, push myself to learn a systems level, like one of the lower level programming languages, like a C, C++, Rust, that type of stuff, to go along with and complement my high level languages like Python and JavaScript. Now, when you're learning another language, whatever it is, right, you don't have to start from scratch. That's the advantage, right? It's if you've learned one programming language, and my friend Josh likes to say this a lot from Eat Lift Program, or developer direction as he calls it now. He likes to say that if you know one programming language, then it's very easy to learn other programming languages, right? Because there's so much that carries over as far as the concepts, especially if you're staying within the same classification of programming language, like an object-oriented programming language to another object-oriented, or a functional to another functional language. The more similarities there are, the more that's going to carry over, right? So a lot of what you need to learn is the nuances of the language you're dealing with and things like that, the different libraries, dependencies you can use. And so one of the greatest tricks that you can apply to learn your second language or third language or whatever very quickly is don't try to reinvent the wheel, and don't try to be too, shall we say, use what you know, basically is what I'm saying, is you can recreate the programs that you've made in your other languages in your new language, right? So for example, I'm doing a series on this channel called Black Hat Python, where I'm creating a lot of hacker type tools, networking tools in Python. One of the things that I've been doing to better learn Rust is I've been recreating those tools in Rust. And so very quickly, I am posed with new challenges of, okay, I understand conceptually how to do this, but what are the dependencies that I need in this new language, and how do they work, and how can I work with it? How can I port this code over? What is like the nuances of this language that's different than the other languages I know that are going to cause me to have to maybe implement things slightly different to get the same result? Things like that. You run into all kind of challenges along the way. Because what most people do is they just try to pick up a book on the language they're trying to learn and just read it from cover to cover and barely put their hands to the keyboard. If they do at all, it's to follow along with a tutorial or something like that. Well, actually, the best thing you can do for your learning is to learn stuff very hands-on and very dynamically, not just copying code from a textbook or from a website, but actually building something for yourself, right? So if you have programs that you've built, which if you know another programming language, undoubtedly you have some programs that you've made in that language, try to recreate them in your target language that you're learning, right? Because most of the learning happens when your hands are on the keyboard, Same thing with pen testing, right? You could read about pen testing all you want, but until you go and do some CTFs, put yourself through some challenges, do some hands-on keyboard work, you're going to be very limited in what you learn, and even retaining it's going to be hard, and it's going to be hard to really level up. So I'm always a big proponent of hands-on work, actually doing the thing that you're trying to learn. And as it so happens, when it comes to security, when it comes to programming, it's very easy to get hands-on with it. So get hands-on by all means. Go create some programs, work on your own projects as well. Maybe it's something you haven't built before. Go ahead, build it in your target language. But as a bridge to getting there, definitely porting over old code from other languages to your new language is one trick that can really help you out. And it's something that you should know how to do conceptually because you've done it before, but it might require you just thinking in a different way, right? Thinking in this language, right? Rather than another language. For example, if you're trying to learn a new language, like to speak, right? If you're learning German, right? You're going to take things that you know how to say in English and try to figure out how to say them in German. Now, along the ways, you might encounter the nuances of German, like, okay, this word is slang in English. They wouldn't use the same equivalent thing in German. They don't have something that will directly translate. Okay, now you learn something about the nuance of that language, right? Same thing can happen with your programming languages. So that's what I would say to this strategy that I really wanted to just lay out there. I wish I would have started doing it sooner. I could have really sped up the time to learn a lot of the languages that I've learned. And if you have any questions about this, let me know in the comment section below. If you watched to this point, go ahead and subscribe, hit the like button as well. And if you are interested in learning some Python programming, go ahead and check out the Black Hat Python playlist right over here. I'll see you guys in those videos. Thanks for watching.